Hi everybody, this is your weekly horoscope and it's for Monday the 18th of December going through until Christmas Eve, Sunday the 24th of December 2017. It looks like a really busy week. We've got the sun changing signs, we've got Mercury going direct, the pace is really quick, so there's a lot going on this week. I'm going to give you a day-by-day breakdown of what's happening in the week so you can make the most of the energy and you can have the best week possible. So on Monday the 18th of December, we really start the week with something powerful because there's a new moon in Sagittarius which happens at 6:32 in the morning, and that's based on UK time. So I've made a separate video on this. A new moon is basically when the sun and the moon, they sit together and the moon kind of pulls in the energy of the sun and it recharges itself for its next monthly cycle. And in this case it's pulling in Sagittarius energy, and Sagittarius is a fire sign. It's all about adventure, exploration, looking to the future, moving forward, kind of having a sense of hope and optimism. So that's really what we start this new week with. Amazing energy. Now at the same time, well, not at the same time, later on in the day, the moon goes into Capricorn at 35 minutes past 1, and the moon is really what you feel like. It's kind of what you are like on a soul level. So the shift from Sagittarius, which is all about let's go explore and have these adventures, is mainly intellectual, and it's important that you kind of make a note of what comes up for you during the new moon, because when the moon goes into Capricorn in the afternoon here, it's immediately focused on how can I take these things that I've now dreamt up, that I'm excited about, and how can I put them into practice in a physical way, because Capricorn is an earth sign and it's all about getting somewhere. It's about applying yourself, being ambitious and succeeding in your goals. Now the sun is also in Sagittarius, so that gives us that sense of excitement as well. It sextiles Mars in Scorpio. Mars is the male principle, and in the traditional astrology it rules Scorpio. So it's connected with its most primal kind of sexual energy. In modern astrology, Pluto rules Scorpio, and Mars in Scorpio I personally don't think is particularly happy, because it has to kind of really get down into the root cause of what it's about. It has to really kind of dig around in the emotional side of things. And Mars rules Aries. I think it's much more comfortable kind of moving ahead, moving forward. The good thing about this is that you're in touch with your feelings. Combined with the optimism of the new moon, it's really, I feel, I'm positive, therefore I can achieve. So on Monday, you have this sense of optimism in place. It's all about new beginnings, and that's mixed with a feeling of responsibility for your own circumstances. So you're looking at those, you're not blaming anyone else, you're saying this is where I'm at in life, this is what I can do about it. So you can look at ways to improve your life in a realistic and practical way, and that doesn't matter what your circumstances are. So whether you're unemployed and looking for work, or whether you've just had some major success in a working endeavor or in a relationship, or you've just moved, it really doesn't matter. This sense of optimism and these ideas that are generated through that sense of optimism can be applied to anything. So whatever your circumstances are, wherever you're at in life, you can use this energy to really make note of that, to kind of say, okay, this is what I want for the future, and this is how I'm going to go about achieving that. So Monday is a super optimistic and practical day. On Tuesday the 19th of December, we have the moon in Capricorn, and that sextiles the lucky planet Jupiter, which is in Scorpio. It also conjuncts Pluto in Capricorn, and Pluto is the planet of transformation. Again, in an earth sign, it's about transforming your physical circumstances, and that's really kind of a theme that we've got. We've got all of this fire and enthusiasm, and then it's applied in a practical way. So this isn't just useless energy or, you know, bravado or fluff. It's actual stuff that you can use to make changes in your life. So on Tuesday the 19th is a great day to spend with friends, family and loved ones, because we've got the good luck planet Jupiter in Scorpio. So that's all about connecting on an emotional level. If you're not able to be around a lot of other people, or if you are not able to connect with other people for whatever reason. Scorpio, again, like I said with Mars in Scorpio, is about really getting in touch with your true self, your real feelings. And if you are in a situation, like for instance, let's say you're working all day and you can't be around anyone and you don't have time to just socialize or anything like that, take a moment to just meditate and connect with your true self, because you'll get a lot of great ideas via your feelings today. If you are able to be around other people, you may get some insights that other people are sharing with you, and talking things out is a good idea. You'll get ideas that you may not have thought of by yourself. And again, like I said, if you're alone, connecting with your higher self, or a power greater than yourself, a power of your understanding, you'll get ideas that you can't really generate by yourself. So Tuesday is about connection, and connecting on an emotional level to get the ideas, and then these ideas again can be implemented to make changes in life. So Tuesday is kind of similar to Monday, because it's about taking emotional information and then applying it in a practical way. Monday is about enthusiasm and fire, and then applying that in a practical way. So it's different kind of methods of fueling these practical changes that you can undertake in your life. Moving on to Wednesday the 20th, we have Saturn going into Capricorn. Now this is a huge shift. Saturn is an outer planet, first of all, so it spends about 2.5 years in each sign of the zodiac. So a Saturn return, for it to go through the whole zodiac, takes about 28 to 29.5 years. It's been in Sagittarius for the last 2.5 years, and it goes into Capricorn now on the 20th of December, and that's based again on UK time. It might be the 19th, a little bit earlier if you're in a different time zone. But it stays in Capricorn until the 21st of March 2020. So this shift is going to affect us all for 2 years and 4 months. Now again, I've made a separate video on this which goes into a lot of detail, but just to give you a gist and a shortened version is that Saturn in Sagittarius was fundamentally conflicted. Saturn is about structure and keeping things as they are, and Sagittarius is about exploring and going on an adventure and learning new things. So it's fundamentally conflicted, and it made it difficult to make decisions. Saturn rules Capricorn, so Saturn's structure really likes being in the sign of Capricorn, because Capricorn is about applying yourself in a practical way, being earthy, being grounded, and achieving your goals. So this shift means that you're going to be far more productive now over the next 2 years and 4 months, but also it means that you take on a lot more responsibility for the things that happen. So if your job doesn't go exactly the way you want it, it's going to be, I didn't work hard enough. If I'd applied myself more, if I'd woken up at 4 in the morning, I would have been able to make it. So with this shift, we all kind of have to be careful that we don't get too serious about the things in life, and that we don't criticize ourselves, and that we don't blame ourselves. Especially if you're someone who's constantly after yourself. I'm not good enough, I didn't do this well enough. Be careful with this, and make time and deliberately plan in activities which are just designed for fun, and which are there to reward you, and have a break, and plan those things in, especially if things get really, really heavy. So on the plus side, you're going to be more productive. On the downside, you're going to be very, very serious and take things extremely personally in a way. We also have the moon in Capricorn, that squares Uranus in Aries. Uranus is the planet of energy and drive. In Aries, that's all systems go. So combined with the moon, it's like, let's get things done. Venus is in Sagittarius. Venus is the planet of love and beauty. Venus is still focused on exploring and going on adventures and having fun. And that planet squares Chiron in Pisces, Chiron being the wounded healer. So that might cause a couple of problems on an emotional level. And it also trines Uranus in Aries. So Venus may react and say, do you know what? This disappointed me in the past. This didn't work. Therefore, I'm going to act act in an extreme way and overcompensate in a way and make sure I have fun, because remember that disappointment that I had a couple of years ago. So there's the potential to kind of get extreme here on Wednesday. So have a look at that Saturn in Capricorn video if you want to find out more about it, about this kind of shift in terms of taking more responsibility and working hard, and how that's going to affect you over the next 2 years and 4 months. The fiery energy that we've experienced already in the week, on Monday particularly, that's going to speed up even more, and you'll be kind of chomping at the bit here, getting ready to go and to make changes in your life. Try and pace yourself. Don't kind of be overly extreme, especially with that Venus in Sagittarius. And yes, you can make changes, but you know, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Just try and remember that and bear that in mind. Now, Thursday the 21st of December, we've got the winter solstice, which is if you're in the northern hemisphere, the shortest day of the year in terms of the light, which means that the days are going to get longer again. Hooray. So we're going to have more sunlight from now on, which is really positive. The moon goes into Aquarius at 2:30 in the morning. The moon in Aquarius is much more humanitarian, and it's much more focused on other people, being of service to other people, and also being scientific. And it's interested in technology, it's interested in communications. It's not just like Capricorn, kind of about work and implementing things and using your energy to get things done. So the perspective really broadens here on Thursday. Now, the sun moves into Capricorn at 4:29 in the afternoon, so happy birthday to all the Capricorns now. This is your time. And the sun then conjuncts Saturn in Capricorn. So Saturn is now just changed into the sign of Capricorn. For Capricorns, this month here is really, well, from the 21st of December for the next 30-ish days, while the sun is in Capricorn, next to that Saturn in Capricorn, you guys are going to experience a real sense of, I know what I'm doing, I'm settled in my circumstances, I feel super grounded within myself. Any inspiration, ideas that come in, I'm going to be implementing. I'm not going to be doubting myself. If I can think it, I can do it. It applies a little bit to the other earth signs as well, so Virgo and Taurus. But the Capricorns particularly are going to really benefit from this conjunction. Now, combined with the Aquarius moon and the sun and Saturn conjunction, you'll take a serious look again at what positive changes you can make in your life for yourself, but also for others on a personal level and on a global level. That's the Aquarius part of it. So again, everything, you know, what's interesting about this week is everything ends up with you implementing things so that you can make changes. The fuel and the motivation is different on each day, but everything is really about transforming your circumstances and improving them and making them better. So basically, if we want to summarize this week here up until Thursday, it's about a builder rolling up his sleeves and getting ready to work on a construction site. That's what this energy is about, and having the energy to actually do that. Friday the 22nd of December, more good news, hooray! Mercury, the communication planet, goes direct. So the retrograde ends. Mercury retrograde, I've done a separate video on this as well. Have a look at that. It's still going to affect you for most of the week up until Friday the 22nd. Mercury is the communication planet that rules Gemini and Virgo, and it's really all about how you learn and absorb information and how you then express information. It also rules transportation and how things move and how you can get things from A to B. It usually stifles communication, and you have to find different and alternate ways of doing things. So there's more information on that video, have a look at that. Also, we have the moon in Aquarius, and it squares, well, it's still in Aquarius, so that focus on humanity and other people is still there. It squares the good luck planet Jupiter in Scorpio. So today, Friday the 22nd, learning from other people is a really good idea because of that connection between the moon and Jupiter. What's also really interesting is that expressing difficult emotions and sharing things that, you know, you haven't told anyone but that have been weighing really heavily on you and that have been holding you back, you know, like skeletons in the closet. If you have someone that you really trust and there's something that you've never told anyone and it's like you'll take that to your grave, those kind of secrets keep us sick, as they say in the 12-step recovery rooms. But those things, you know, keeping something like that to yourself does keep you sick, and because it makes you isolated from others. And we're social creatures, we need other people to survive and to thrive. So expressing these difficult feelings and finding some understanding from another person can bring you real peace and a sense of relief and a sense of, I've kind of just released this huge burden and this weight has dropped off my shoulders. Obviously choose someone you can trust, and there are people out there who will understand and who will want to listen to what you've got to say and who aren't going to judge you. And it's important to get that stuff out because it can fester, it can be like poison. If you keep that within you, it's awful. So it's interesting that this happens on the day when the Mercury retrograde ends. It's like communication, bam, it goes forward again. And something has been simmering inside you and it's now, okay, I want to just get this out of me. And I just want to get rid of the poison and just drop it and let it go so I can move forward. And again, that's another way of transforming energy and using it for fuel. So taking something negative, getting rid of it so that you can move on with your life and transform things for the better. Amazing. Saturday the 23rd of December, we have the moon going into Pisces at 2:43 in the afternoon. Now, Pisces is the final sign of the zodiac. In the traditional astrology wheel, it rules the 12th house. So if you look at the wheel of the astrology, the first house is beginning, it's Aries, it's about the spark of life and getting things done. Then it's Taurus, it's about the body and coming to terms with that and growing up and learning to walk and learning how to, you know, feel comfortable in your own skin. Third house is Gemini, communication, how to deal with the world. By the time you get to Pisces, the 12th house, it's about the veil between this world and the next world. And Pisces, therefore, is very spiritual in nature and is self-sacrificing, and it's not full of ego. It's about listening. And it's about being of service to other people and wanting to give of the self. The moon being how you feel on a soul level, going into Pisces here on the 23rd is really ideal moving into Christmas, Saturday the 23rd here, but then the next day, Sunday the 24th, Christmas Eve, because if you're getting together with family or if you're spending it with your adopted family or friends or by yourself, it's really a positive energy because you're not going to go in guns blazing and saying, okay, I'm looking for a fight, I'm going to tell these people what I think. It's really about, you know, I am here just like everyone else to connect with other people, to enjoy this period. And if you're spending Christmas alone, Pisces is wonderful because it does thin the veil between this world and the other world. So you can connect spiritually and you can feel the ascended masters around you, your ancestors, spirit, God, your guardian angels, the archangels, all of that, so that you can feel that you're not alone. Because in reality, you're never alone. But we can feel lonely, can't we? And if we really just remember and realize that we're never alone, then that can be a huge burden as well that drops off. Now also, the Pisces moon sextiles Saturn in Capricorn, that planet of structure which has just shifted into Capricorn, and the sun in Capricorn. So not only do you take responsibility for your part in things, so what you contribute to relationships and situations, but you're also selfless enough to want to be of service to other people. So you're not judging, you're letting things go, you're able to let things slide by. So if you go home for Christmas and you've got, you know, a really racist aunt who always irritates you, instead of just trying to bulldoze her into seeing things in a more realistic way, you can just leave her to it and just say that's her journey and that's where she's at. It's not my job to change her mind, and nor is it my job to get upset about it and have my Christmas ruined because of her views and opinions. You're able to let go of things like that. It's water off a duck's back. You're able to let things go that otherwise would really bother you. Now, moving on to Sunday the 24th of December, Christmas Eve. So that's when I celebrate Christmas, because my mother's Austrian and my dad was German. So we celebrate on Christmas Eve. We don't do it in the morning on the 25th, which I think is less exciting, because you have the whole day to, like if you're a kid, you know, you have the whole day to wait for your presents. If you're in one of the English speaking countries, you just wake up and ta-da, instant gratifications, your presents are there on the 25th. Anyway, so Christmas Eve, 24th. The moon is still in Pisces, so we've still got that peaceful, generous energy there. It trines the good luck planet Jupiter, which is in Scorpio. And Venus, the planet of love and beauty, is now no longer speeding off and trying to, you know, find thrills and kicks everywhere. That enters Capricorn, so again, it's much more grounded and serious and in the present moment. So this is the perfect energy for Christmas Eve. You're not overly focused on yourself. You're able to enjoy the company of other people. The Venus shift means that you can actually be in the here and now, instead of racing ahead in the future and thinking about what's next Christmas going to be like, and what am I going to do then, and what presents am I going to arrange for people then. So it looks like an amazing week. Everything is really about, every day is useful. Every day is a day where you can take energy and transform it into something practical that you can use to make your life better. So that's what I get for you this week. I hope you have a wonderful time. If you would like a private reading with me, then please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. Click on the readings tab to order your reading. And in my readings, I use the astrology, I use tarot and numerology. I use a combination. And the combination of those three divination tools really allows me to have a really good, in-depth view of you, why you're here, what your aptitudes are, what you're all about, why you've come back to this planet, what it is you need to do to kind of actualize yourself. I can also look at what's coming up for you in future in terms of your love life or compatibility with a partner, the ideal job for you, what's coming up for you in terms of your friendships, your relationships with family, your health, travel, selling and buying houses, when the best time to do all of that is. So there's really nothing that the astrology and the tarot prevents me from looking at. If you've got a question, I can answer it. So if you're interested in that, please get in touch for a personal reading via the website. It's gregoryscott.com. Just click on the readings tab to order your reading. Please remember to subscribe to this YouTube channel, and I'll speak to you next week.